Hello, Governor. Want to go to the movies? Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, the podcast where Matt and Todd go see a movie at our local Regal Cinema Theater, and then we talk about it from the parking lot in Matt's car. I, am Todd Domer.
And I, several dots, am Matt Malloy. And yes, welcome to this episode. Tonight we're going to be talking about and sharing our initial responses to a movie called The Gentleman. This movie stars Matthew McConaughey, Colin Farrell's in it, and other people.
Hunnam.
Yeah.
Hunnam. That Asian guy who's in all the movies now.
Oh.
Something Golding.
Oh, yeah. Howard Golding.
Henry,
yeah. Yes. We know a lot about movies. Guys, don't even question how much we know.
Yeah.
We know all the actors and
absolutely
actresses. Sometimes we remember the names of movies.
Hugh Grant was in this movie.
Hugh Grant was in this movie, yes. All right. So, a little complicated to explain, but the basic plot of the movie is that Matthew McConaughey has a stranglehold on the marijuana trade in England. He's basically like a drug kingpin over that whole area when it comes to the Mary Jane.
The sticky icky.
Yes. And so he is getting to be middle-aged and he's ready to kind of cash out. And so this movie kind of plays out what that looks like as potential buyers come into play, and then a whole bunch of stuff goes wrong, and he tries to fix it, and that's pretty much the movie. There's also a journalist, private eye type character played by Hugh Grant, who comes into the picture and kind of tries to blackmail Matthew McConaughey's business with a whole bunch of information, and sort of through his, you get the story through that guy's storytelling of like how what he knows, and that sort of unfolds the whole movie. So it's interesting. Guy Ritchie wrote it and directed it. So there you have it. That's the summation. What did you think? How did you feel, Todd?
Well, I'm going to start by saying that if you've seen one Guy Ritchie movie, I think you've seen them all. Because they are all very similar, except for Aladdin. But he had no freedom with Aladdin. It was kind of like, here's the story you're doing, here's the source material, here's the movie that was before. So this movie is not bad. It's kind of slow at times. It's a somewhat intriguing story, but it's like a typical Guy Ritchie story of like, here's the story being told to you, here's it from someone else's angle, oh wait, that was wrong, here's it from someone else's angle, here, it's like a lot of different, like, just somewhat twists and turns, but really it's just his type of, and it's not just him, there's a couple other directors I think out there who do this, it's just that type of storytelling. And it's all from England or whatever, so of course it's filled with that kind of talk and profanity that comes with that, and the movie's kind of all talk. It's just all talk. It's all people talking. That's the movie. So it's not bad per se. I found it boring at times. It's like okay acted. I don't know. There's just something special about this movie. I mean, like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which were kind of like his breakout hits, were kind of special because they were like kind of new and, you know, that kind of stuff hadn't been done before. Now it's like those kind of two movies over and over again just rotate the people who are in it. So instead of like Jason Statham and Brad Pitt and other people who are in those movies, you get Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam, but it's like all kind of like the same characters. There's always a mobster, there's always like a drug dealer, there's always like some smart aleck kids. Like, it's just like, honestly, if you've seen the one, you've seen them all. So This falls into that category. Now, if you're a Guy Ritchie fan and you're like, Todd, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, start your own podcast and talk about it. But that's kind of where I'm at. So if you're a Guy Ritchie fan and you love his movies, this is up your alley because it's exactly like all the rest of them. If you're just a fan of cinema in general, been there, done that. This one adds nothing special to the formula that's been presented. So that's a little sad to me because I was a huge fan of Sons of Anarchy, the show, and Charlie Hunnam is from that show, so I want good things for him. But this is the second movie he's been in with Guy Ritchie. The first one was King Arthur, which was, again, take the story of King Arthur and then put it into a talking movie with like some action, but like Guy Ritchie it a little bit. And it's like, I think I want good things for Charlie, so I want them to separate at this point. I'm like, I think you guys need to take a break because it's just all the same. So if that's up your alley, go see it. If it's not, you could probably miss this one. If I gun to my head, am I going to tell people to see this movie? Probably not.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, I enjoyed this movie. That being said, it was slow in the beginning, like pretty slow in the beginning. I mean, there's some little blasts of action in there, but getting started, getting up and running, making me care about the characters, that took some doing.
Sure.
And the other thing I'll say about it is because of the way that it was, the way the story was told, it was really told in a disjointed way.
Yes.
So you kind of jump around with different parts of the story and different parts, and you kind of have to hold a lot of things in your head to really get what's going on, which, okay, I can do that, but it was, I would have liked a more straightforward storytelling process than happened in this. That being said, I did like the movie. I thought that the acting was decent. And I thought overall, though I didn't love the storytelling method, I did like the story overall. Especially I liked how things ended up, which I won't spoil it for you, but
yeah,
I
hard to review without a movie like this without like kind of tiptoeing around it.
Sure. So I would say go see it if you like kind of gangster action-y films with, as Todd said, there's a lot of talking and a lot of sort of intrigue and who's telling the truth and what really is going on. That's really the kind of, I guess, suspenseful gangster style with lots of plots and spying and that kind of stuff going on. So if you're into that, I say see the movie. So.
Well, it's weird to me because, and I don't know if this is, I would have to like really think about this to answer this for every Guy Ritchie movie, but it definitely really stuck out to me that if you made a movie about any of the characters in this movie and they were the main character, I think you have a good movie on your hands. But the fact that they're all these interesting side characters are smushed in, like at times I was like, I want more of, like Charlie Hunnam's character is very interesting to me. Henry Golding's character is really interesting. Matthew McConaughey, like they're all so interesting characters to me, but it's like you get little snippets of them through the story, and it's like I want more. Like,
yeah, it's really like an ensemble cast more than it is like focusing
it's not like
on one
led by one person.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was like all these characters are smashed into this movie and smashed into the story, and it's like I kind of want to expand on it a little bit as far as each character goes because they all were intriguing to me.
Well, but maybe they'll make The Gentleman 2.
It's true.
And expand on
The Gentleman's.
The Gentleman's, yes.
All right. How many boxes of Bush would you give this movie?
Yes. It's a good rating system. We learned that an English word for marijuana is Bush.
Yes.
So
and then there's a point where a lot of Bush is put into boxes, and there's a song written about it.
There is a
called
song.
Boxes of Bush.
Yes, and dancing and yes, YouTube video style. Pretty awesome, actually. A pretty funny and enjoyable part of the movie.
It makes you want to see more of those characters. They get such a small part. And I'm like, this is so intriguing to me. But
yes.
Anyway.
I'm going to give it 3.1 boxes of Bush. Overall, enjoyed the movie, as I said.
Sure.
And I mentioned the things that sort of distracted from it getting a higher rating than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, solid 3.1. I would say a decent movie. And
sure.
Yeah. What do you say?
I'm probably around like a 2.7. Like, I don't think there's anything to really hate about this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's no hate coming from me or anything like that. But it's just like, I do kind of stand firm in my conviction that I just feel like if you've seen one Guy Ritchie movie, you've seen them all, besides Aladdin. So.
Fair enough.
There's just a lot of elements and all. Have you seen the other ones that I mentioned? Okay,
no.
Yeah. So it's just like...
So it's all new to me.
Yeah, if you went into it, you'd be like, oh, yeah, all right. So, yeah, I think 2.7 is a fair rating for me. I mean, like I said, I think he has a pretty loyal following, so if you're a fan, go see it. Like, this is on par for one of his movies.
There you go. All right, well... That will wrap up this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, where we review The Gentleman, and that's plural, not singular.
Sure.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Maybe. A little weird. After having seen the movie, I'm like, wasn't there just one gentleman, really? But maybe not.
Oh, let me interject something real quick. Before you finish. I'd like to give like a small, very short mini review of Marriage Story.
Marriage Story,
It's up for Best Picture.
Yes.
And there's like, I think both of the actor and actresses in it are up for up for awards too. It's really good. I liked it. It's a very meaty movie, a very emotional movie. But both ScarJo and Kylo Adam did incredibly well on it. It's like extremely well acted. And there's a specific reason why I think it's really well acted. I'm going to try to make this really short. But so in the movie, they let scenes go on for a really long time, which is like not done a whole lot anymore. It's like scenes are kind of short because you got lines to remember and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But in this movie, they let some scenes go on for a really long time, and it just leaves a lot of time for the acting to really take place and stuff like that. And I just took note of that. So it's on Netflix. I'm not going to give it a rating system because I don't think I should rate something unless you've been there for it. So
it's fair.
It's good. I recommend it. If you don't, okay, it's your life.
It is your life.
Yeah, we live in a free world.
We live in a free world where you can make your own podcast and your own rating system. And so there you have it. Todd's mini review of A Marriage Story. A Marriage Story? Just Marriage Story. Forget that A. But tonight our main review was The Gentleman, plural, and we rated an average of 2.9, which is a decent rating. It's above average for us.
And we had no interrupting people really in the theater tonight, which
That's
was
true.
Just a breath of fresh air.
A positive cinematic experience.
Yeah. The woman sitting next to me during some of like the commercial previews, like M&M stuff, would like a line would be said and she would repeat it. Like it'd be like, "What do you think, I'm a dummy?" And she'd be like, "What do you think, I'm a dummy?" And I'm like, "Oh, here we go again." But then she stopped talking and it was great.
Yeah. Positive experience at the cinema tonight.
All right. Now I'm really going to let you finish.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. Please continue to listen. Tell all your friends to listen because we like it when people listen to what we have to say.
Yeah. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da.